I don't know if you know, Kai,
Mm-hmm.
but Spain has lost power.
Yeah, you were telling me this morning in the car, and I was like, how?
I didn't understand the numbers, and I was thinking like, well, shit, we lost power. 100,000 people no power in Arkansas, and I'm over here thinking like, we didn't hit no news. They ain't talk about us. And so I got to Googling. They said it's over 10 million people with no power.
That's scary. That's really scary when you think about it.
Now I know why they ain't talk about us. It wasn't no 10.
No, and if it was, they sure didn't say nothing.
No power. What kind of what occurs for a power grid that at that large of a scale to just collapse?
When something like that happens, that's tragic. So it makes you think, who's tampering with stuff? Who are they connected to that they bump heads with? Or could the grid have just been old and bad and it needed to update? Is something, one of these storms just... Because, we've been having storms left and right all around the world. So it's kind of like, you never know.
Yeah. It just, when you think of the scale, 10 million people, that's Los Angeles. That's New York. That's Dallas. Like, those are large cities with a lot of people, and a lot of chaos can happen in a very small amount of time simply because people know cameras aren't working, the transit isn't working, the trains aren't working.
No cell phone service.
The cell phone towers aren't up. A great possibility. So if you ain't.
But hold on, how do they report that it's down if people?
Satellites are still up if you could communicate to satellites. So there's phones that operate off satellites. There's computers that operate off satellites. If you have Elon Musk's internet, that's off of a satellite.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's true.
There's ways to still communicate, but it's just when you think of a blackout on that scale, you got transportation, you got businesses, you got homes, your communication.
Daycares,
everything's affected. People are home,
Hospitals are really being affected probably if they don't have backup generators. So when you start thinking about people's health and well-being, it's like, oh, my goodness. Like, even people that are getting home care, it just makes you start thinking about, the struggle. Because it's like, how do you make sure none of these people perish?
And it's multiple cities. They're saying it's Barcelona, Lisbon, Madrid, and Seville have been hit heavily with major public services and airports and even hospitals facing disruptions. No power. Everything's thrown off. Everything.
That's crazy.
So it's not just, it's multiple places holding multiple amounts of people that are affected. You know how it was here. We went, 4 days no power? Mm-hmm. And that was hectic. So I can only imagine a city with 10 million people.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, yeah, because it's like it'll make the crime rate pop up if you didn't even have one.
And from what I'm reading, it said that it's still under investigation on what caused it. They don't know what caused it. There's early theories ranging from a major grid failure to possibilities of a cyber attack, but no official conclusion has been yet released. Nothing's been released. So
that's crazy because it makes you think. It's just like,
what happened? Why did it shut down? Was it a upset employee? Was it an actual cyber attack on the company?
Who's sleeping with somebody down at the cookie factory? Somebody did something. Somebody got mad.
Or did someone just spill their coffee? What happened?
Well, if that's the case, it seems like that person knows how to fix it, and it would have been fixed already if it was that easy. This is more like internal. Like, it's more to it. Like, okay, yeah, the power grid went down, but at the same time, it's like, how old is Spain? How long have they had electricity, and this has never happened to them? So it makes you wonder, like, who's planning something? What y'all do? Mm-hmm. Was it an accident? We don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So one of the reasons why they're saying this is getting global attention is because of the size. Mm-hmm. Simply because Spain and Portugal are central to Europe's energy network, raising concerns about the grid and stability across Europe.
I bet it is, because that's scary.
Makes you think about other countries and other places that use the same grid. Is it a chance that they could be disrupted in this fashion? And how long is it going to take to come up? Because again, we were out of power for 4 days, and even after we had power,
there were still some areas
with no power. Yeah. And I got to Googling just yesterday. Because when I was reading this information, today, this morning, it said that Little Rock still has Arkansas still has 1,500 people, no power.
Wow.
1,500 compared to 10 million is completely different. But
yeah,
think that this happened like 2-3 weeks ago, and they still ain't got power. Mm-hmm. Then it goes down to the response and recovery efforts. We're talking emergency teams and energy providers are working to restore the power quickly as possible. And that's what they kept telling us. Next day, 8 p.m. Next day, 8 p.m. Next day, 8 p.m. It never came on at 8 p.m.
No, it didn't. Our stuff, we kept waiting, and then it would say 10 o'clock p.m. Nothing changed, and then it just got to a point where it was like, okay.
And it could be a couple hour fix, but I just know for us, and what we went through, because it was storm, we had down poles, down wires. It was a lot more logistics to it to repair it and fix it. So it did take a while to fix it versus this might be just a power grid issue or something in the software. Because it doesn't seem like it's a storm, like it's a natural cause.
Listen,
or else they would have said that.
All I'm going to say is if this ended up being a bear attack or something, a bear or some kind of creature got up into like their wire, it's going to be some hullabaloo. Because it don't make no sense. It's just odd.
I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on it. See how long it takes before the power gets back on. I'm just kind of curious.
If you all are from, Spain or anywhere over there and you're experiencing this, let us know in the comments of if they're getting close to fixing it for y'all, keeping everybody in prayers. Because this is serious.
But not just that. I want to know what takes out 10 million people. Like, what does that? Like, what messed up the grid that caused... Because that's not small. That's huge. It was devastating for us to have 100,000 now. 10 million is devastating. That's the whole city of Los Angeles.
So how many... That means they don't have that many power source, like...
No, it's a huge city. 10 million is a huge city. Think about all of Los Angeles. No power.
Where's the solar panels? Because you think of these, I think of Spain and I think they're innovative and they're. Well,
it's multiple cities.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Population-wise, think of that many people with no power.
Yeah.
No power.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dangerous.
Even for people that's traveling right now that's over there, what sucks for them is you can't even get on the plane then.
Listen. When it got dark, it got dark. We were outside because it was brighter outside than it was inside. When it got dark, it got dark.
My friends came over. We went outside with them. Okay.
We were outside. That's how we were hanging out with some friends, and that's how we noticed our power came on because the street lights.
It was flickering.
They all flipped on. It was like, oh, did we get caught? Because we were just outside, standing in the dark, and it was like a spotlight landed on us. Like, who the heck? What the heck? What happened?
I only can imagine, though. On a serious note, I can only imagine because that is scary.
Prayers to all the family and all the children that. And not just children, but the people that actually like need power that are on ventilators.
That's what I'm saying. Hospitals and stuff, even home health care, people. So prayers to everybody because that's scary. I would never want to experience, anything like that.
We even looked at generators. To see what size and we need to power this. Even it's just
The sad part is we live in a society now where you need to know self-sustainability, what to do in an emergency for blackouts. Because I think we're at the point now we're about to upgrade to solar panels, or at least one big one. Like our neighbor has one big one, and she was Gucci during the whole storm.
She had power stored somewhere to operate something. She
was like, "Oh, what's up with them all?" Girl, I wish I would have had your number because I sure would have been like,
listen,
can I run the extension cord?
When all your batteries die and your phone is on its last jewel.
And you see a flicker.
Listen, and everything goes down. I said my goodbyes on Facebook. I'll see him again when I have power. I did. I gave him a farewell. That was on Sunday. We didn't get power till Monday. I gave him my farewell.
It was crazy though, because our kids even stayed with our sister-in-law because
it didn't even register me. Go charge my phone in the car. My son was already out there charging.
Our oldest child was like, he came back in and was like, "Why y'all not charging your phone in the car?
Like you using our gas? You using the gas?
You mean the battery?" Because your Jeep charges without it being on.
Funny, but
But yeah, if y'all have any more information on this, let us know.
Update us for sure. Till next time. I'll let y'all.